Well. Look who's here. What is the meaning of this? Where am I? Let me go! Do you know where we are? We are at Old Trafford. Do you know when the stadium was last updated? 2006. Do you know how long that dead rat has been there? Since 2006. This is ridiculous. Anyway, the reason you and I are here is to review the mess that was this season. And trust me, it's going to be quite a review. So strap in. Oh, you're already strapped. Beset by injuries, the club ended the 23-24 season in 8th place with a negative goal difference, their poorest showing since 1990. They were eliminated from the EFL Cup by Newcastle United, and in the Champions League... Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. However, their FA Cup campaign was a success. United somehow beat Man City 2-1 in the final, securing their first consecutive seasons with silverware since 2017. Erik ten Hag gets another shot to prove he's the right fit for United. Despite winning the FA Cup, Manchester United were very much a mess. Jimmy Carragher thought that Casemiro should leave the Premier League. Rashford seemed to have lost the fans, and Sancho, the freedom fighter, was pretty much expected to be gone for good after his Dortmund loan. Nonetheless, they must perform better now. United absolutely have to hit the ground running and put the last season behind them if they want to start working their way back to Champions League contention. Unlike in previous summers, United moved quickly to secure key signings. They snagged Dutch forward Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna. Then they made a big splash by bringing in young centre-back Leny Yoro for a hefty 62 million euros. Erik continued his strategy of bringing in familiar faces, snapping up Matthijs de Ligt for 45 million euros and Mazraoui for just 15 million euros. An absolute bargain, a damn good deal even. United still looking for a defensive midfielder, so in comes Manuel Ugarte from PSG for 50 million euros. In the 23-24 season, he led Lyon in tackles with 98, achieved in only 25 appearances. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, we needed a new left back. Our only left backs we had were Luke Shaw and Malacia, and their medical file isn't just a folder, it's a whole library. And who did we sign? No one. There were plenty of exits too. Donny van der Beek was acquired by Girona for 500,000 euros. Villarreal secured Willy Cambola for a fee of 10 million euros. Aaron Wan-Bissaka moved to West Ham. Omari Forson and Rafael Varane joined Monza and Como respectively as free agents. Anthony Martial's contract concluded, resulting in his departure, and Brandon Williams signed with Prison FC. And finally, Scott McTominay left for Napoli in the most FIFA career mode transfer ever. Despite being a defensive midfielder, the guy was a machine with those late goals for United. Remember that Brentford game? And he was huge in the FA Cup run too, bagging goals against Liverpool and Coventry. Honestly, losing him is a blow, and we're definitely going to miss that knack he had for scoring when it mattered most. Alright, on to the matches. Pre-season. Oh no! We just signed him, come on! Don't worry, there's still the Community Shield. After 90 minutes, the score was 1-1, penalty shootout. Bernardo Silva stepped up, and it was saved by Onana. And with that, we won our first piece of silverware.
And like them...
Get out, Sancho, just get out!
Shield, and they've done it!
We lost. United opened their Premier League campaign with an unconvincing 1-0 win over Fulham, continuing their stretch of underperforming on opening days. But hey, Joshua Zirkzee, first of many. United then headed to Brighton. Who's more terrified of crosses than vampires? The United defense. And ex-United player Danny Welbeck got the first goal in the 30th minute. Don't worry, United got one back through Rashford. However, it's offside. Ahmad tied it up in the 61st minute, and then Garnacho scored to put United ahead.
It hits Zirkzee.
Not again!
Big chance!
Did we just concede from another cross? Liverpool.
Casemiro's giveaway. And Salah. They're queuing up. Casemiro. Diaz! Oh, that's...
Leave the football before the football leaves you.
Salah haunted Old Trafford once again as he scored the third goal after an error from Utd. Finally, we returned to winning ways with a 3-0 victory over 10-man Southampton. Onana also saved a penalty. And then United smashed Barnsley 7-0 in the EFL Cup. United's next game was against Crystal Palace. Hopefully we could get consecutive league wins for the first time this season. Nope. But hey, at least Onana recorded his third clean sheet of the season and also had this ridiculous double save to earn him the Premier League Save of the Month for September. Europa League, FC Twente, Eriksen 5th and Eriksen 6th away. To close the month, the Red Devils hosted Tottenham Hotspur. 3 minutes in, Van der Ven ran through the entire team. 1-0 Spurs. Bruno received his marching order for the first time in his career. Kulusevski and Solanke scored 3-0 defeat. Yeah, fuck this game. To begin the month of October, Manchester United traveled to Porto.
And it was a very high foot.
Again? Honestly, this match was a microcosm of United's whole season. They came out strong with 2 quick goals, looking totally in charge, but then they lost focus. And in the end, Maguire saved the day. Aston Villa. Well, at least we didn't get a comeback against us this time, because it ended in a 0-0 draw. 5 matches without a win. This result also left United with their worst start since 1989. A couple of weeks after that, United played Brentford at home, and finally they ended their winless run coming back from 1-0 down. Fenerbahce, hopefully we can get our first win in Europe this season. Nope. West Ham, hopefully we can get consecutive league wins for the first time this season. Nope. After Dalot missed this, Crescencio Somerville put West Ham ahead. Casemiro leveled the score, however Jarrod Bowen sealed West Ham's victory with a penalty in stoppage time. Ten Hag's time at Old Trafford was finally over as United sat 14th in the table. In his place came interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy, and honestly he performed admirably. A resounding 5-2 victory against Leicester, a promising draw with Chelsea, a 2-0 win over PAOK with Ahmad on fire, and another decisive 3-0 win against Leicester. It only made sense if we keep Ruud at least until the end of the season. We needed someone who understood the club and the players. That's why we should have kept Ruud. But we didn't. We paid 10 million euros for you instead. Patience? Who needs that? Look, I'm the right man for the job. You just don't see it yet. Oh, I see it, alright. A 1-1 draw versus Ed Sheeran FC. Yeah, I've seen enough. But look! 2 straight wins, including a 4-0 thumping against Everton. 2 braces for Rashford and Zirkzee. Yeah, that's nice and all, but what if I told you that those were the last league goals that they would ever score for United this season? Next up, Arsenal. Corners after corners after corners after corners. Arsenal getting corners is like getting a penalty at that point. And then we had Nottingham Forest at home.
Ooh, na na na! Ooh, na na na!
Onana! My god, you have been so good so far this season, and then that just had to happen? You just sat back and let it go in? Bruno scored, but it was to no avail because we just couldn't defend a cross if our lives depended on it. This loss also marked Forest's first win at Old Trafford since December 1994. Victoria Pesenia.
Against Man.
Ooh, na na na! Ooh, la la la!
Fortunately, our substitute Rasmus Højlund, yes, Rasmus Højlund scored 2 goals to save our day. However, the fact that we keep struggling and having to rally against teams that should be much easier to beat was really worrying me. Next was the Manchester Derby away. Up to that point, Manchester City had only won once in their last 10 matches. So this is truly the battle of mid. City took the lead before halftime with a header from Josko Kvadio, and with that the match was over. I'm going to sleep. Wait! Have you seen my resume? Oh yeah! Sporting versus Man City. From the whistle's first shriek, it was a symphony of controlled aggression. Passes were lasers, each one splitting the defense with surgical precision. A death flick created a masterpiece painted with sweat and skill. The titans of the pitch strode out, their eyes gleaming with a fierce determination that sent shivers down the spines of the opposing team. 4-1. Absolute domination. I have come back against Man City once before, and I'll do it again. Deep into the match, Nunez's misguided back pass was seized by Ahmad, who was then fouled within the penalty area. Bruno takes the penalty. Bruno Fernandes celebrates. Shortly thereafter, Ahmad received a long pass, deftly maneuvered around Ederson and scored with a precise shot. All within 2 minutes, and the Etihad was stunned into silence. 2-1. Oh, Ruben, I can just kiss you. This is just the push we needed. We needed to capitalize on this momentum since our next game was Bournemouth at home. Hopefully we can get consecutive league wins for the first time this season. Carabao Cup, Tottenham. Even with Fraser Forster helping us out twice, we still lost. 7 days later, Boxing Day, Wolves away. We conceded another Olympic goal. To end the year of 2024, United gave us a 2-0 loss at home versus Newcastle, which left us sitting 14th on the table. Some New Year gift that was. First match of 2025, Liverpool at Anfield. Forfeit the match, at least we would only lose by 3 goals. But to the surprise of literally everyone, it would be United who opened the score through a thunderous strike from the Butcher. Unfortunately, Cody Gakpo leveled the score just before the hour mark, and then a handball by the legs resulted in a penalty. But what's this? Who's this? It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. United frequently found success attacking down the left flank, culminating in a cross that Ahmad successfully converted into a goal. 90 plus 7th minute. One last chance for United. Xerxes set it up perfectly for Maguire. No! Maguire, you were so close to making Gary Neville orgasm like back when Torres scored that goal. Finally, it all seemed to click as United beat Arsenal in the FA Cup. You let Xerxes wave at your fans at home, and then they went on to win 5 out of their next 7 matches. But even then, I was still quite unhappy. Man, I just loved how we waited until the 82nd minute for an Ahmad hat-trick just to beat Derby County 07-08. Man, I just loved how we needed a 92nd minute goal from Bruno just to beat Rangers. Man, I just loved how we needed a deflected shot to beat Fulham. Man, I just loved how Maguire had to bail us out again versus Leicester with an offside goal. You are a very hard man to please. A win is a win, accept it. And those 2 losses, Brighton and Crystal Palace.
Ooh la la la, ooh la la la.
To pick up. Oh, you're a
Ooh la la la, ooh la la la.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot to talk about the January transfer window. Anthony and Malacia were both loaned out. We also needed a left back. And who did we get? Patrick Dorgu. He was raw, but he could drive the ball up the field in a way that no Manchester United player currently does with any consistency. And speaking of inability to drive the ball up the field, Marcus Rashford. Since the start of last season, he had been looking really out of place. There had been a lot going on with him. Personal stuff, accusations that he's not giving it his all, and issues with you, Rúben Amorim. Rashford was loaned out to Aston Villa, and he really turned things around there, which was great to see. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, Crystal Palace.
This area of the field. Was Martinez held back there by...
Lisandro Martinez was set to be sidelined until 2026. Kobe Mainoo was injured too, and then... Oh god, I'm not ready for this. And then... Ahmad's out. It's over. The season's over. Amorim, tell me, lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. We couldn't just lose 2 key players like that in such quick succession. This was our own doing. Tell me, what has been happening behind closed doors in the medical department, huh? What the fuck has been going on in there, huh? And now we have to rely on, oh god, Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee. Ruben, do you know that their numbers were 9 and 11? Do you know that both of our attackers like to kill people? And do you know that they were what I would call terrorist footballers? Nah, who am I kidding? If they were working for Al Qaeda, this would be the World Trade Center right now, because they would have missed both towers. So... now what? Tottenham conceded early, had plenty of chances to equalize, but unfortunately it all fell to Alejandro Garnacho. Everton conceded early, conceded again, but I would say though, the way we played in the last 20 minutes was spectacular. Wanna see more of that? Ed Sheeran FC. Oh my god, can we do one thing correctly? You just came, Dorgu!
Red card for Patrick Dorgu.
Oh my god, I can't take it anymore!
Switch just probing, and that's a clever ball in towards...
And then we conceded from that. United won, but come on. We had less possession, fewer total shots, and a lower XG at home against, of all teams, Ipswich. That was really impressive. Do you know that, Amorim? Fulham in the FA Cup. Fulham scored first, Bruno equalized. Chido Obi looked like a bigger threat in 45 minutes than Højlund in the last 10 matches. Iceman missed from the spot. but Zirkzee went from hero to 0. And with that, we were out of every domestic cup competition. Right now, if you're a United fan, you must be quite depressed. So I'll speed things up a little bit. I'll hold off the Europa League for now. Save the best for last. Arsenal, actual great performance, or maybe Arsenal were just really bad. If not for Raya, we might have won. Leicester, we won. Højlund scored. Yippee! Nottingham Forest, hopefully we can get consecutive league wins for the first time this season. Man City, Battle of Mid, Snooze Fest, Go to Sleep. Newcastle.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Wolves, to be fair, they were on fire, and that was a good free kick. Bournemouth, Højlund scored. Yippee! That goal was so good, man. I hope Real Madrid doesn't swoop you up. Brentford, we scored 3 goals. Hooray! Ahmad returned sooner than expected, and he scored. Hooray! It would have been even better had we not conceded 4. West Ham, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Wait, we actually won! Yippee! Okay, back to the good stuff. United faced Real Sociedad in the round of 16. First leg, Zirkzee opened the score. That's what we like to see. Fernandes handball. That's not what we like to see. Oyarzabal scored from the spot, and we were very lucky to escape with a draw. Second leg.
Penalty check coming here.
Again! Oyarzabal scored from the spot again, and it looked to be one of those days again. But no, says Rasmus, who earned us our own penalty. Bruno rolled his spot kick into the bottom left corner. Second half, Bruno put it in again from the spot. Okay, that shouldn't have been a penalty. 87th minute, Bruno completed his hat-trick. And to cap off an incredible performance, Diogo Dalot, another Portuguese player, sealed the deal. Rasmus and Zirkzee were actually a joy to watch. This was undoubtedly the most complete performance of the Rúben Amorim era. This is our year. Next up, Lyon. Bring it on!
Onana! Onana!
Don't worry, Loris Karius. Lenny Euro equalized on the stroke of halftime, and in the 88th minute, Joshua Zirkzee, who was on his redemption arc, scored the winner to give United the advantage.
Onana! Onana!
You have no real friends, and will die alone. You have no real friends, and will die alone. You have no real friends, and will die alone. You have no real friends, and will die alone. Okay, we tied the first game, and that's enough, since we've got the next one at our place. Bring it on! 10 minutes in, Mazraoui played a great forward pass to Fernandes, who spotted Garnacho in the box. Garnacho then passed it back to Ugarte, who fired the host in front. Advantage United. First half stoppage time. Maguire launched a searching pass forward to Dalot. He shrugged off Tagliafico and fired a low shot that skimmed across the goal mouth and found the back of the net. It was 2-0 to Manchester United at Old Trafford, 4-2 on aggregate, and they were now virtually assured a spot in the semi-finals. 71st minute, Lyon got a free kick on the right. Almanda whipped it in. Casemiro headed it away, but it got nodded back in by Niakate and Lacazette. Toliso's right there. No. Just 6 minutes later, Fofana sent in a pass from the left and Maitland-Niles volleyed it across goal. Tagliafico took a shot that Onana saved, but Lacazette put away the rebound. We threw it all away in just 7 minutes! Extra time, 104th minute. Fofana was fouled. Turkey picked it up and we had this in the bag. And now it's 3-2 to Lyon. Ah!
Away on the edge of the penalty area. Fofana's into the box.
Are you kidding me?
Goodbye, back to the lobby.
Absolutely finished. 4-2 down. The echoes of Lyon's celebration still ringing in the hallowed grounds of Old Trafford. The dream shattered. The hopes extinguished. No way back. This is the end. But wait, a flicker, a spark. The faintest whisper in the wind. A lifeline? Dare we? Is it possible? Just maybe a chance? Fernandes stepped up from 12 yards and he slotted his penalty into the bottom right corner. It is not over yet. Last minute of extra time. Mainu received a pass in the box from Casemiro. He controlled the ball with one touch and then placed a shot into the far corner and the whole stadium went into pandemonium. It's 6-6 on aggregate. There was no way we could score again. There was too little time left. But wait, it's Casemiro again. He sent in one final cross for Harry Maguire! Are you watching Real Madrid? That's how you do remontada. Oh, Ruben, I can just kiss you. Casemiro was sensational. He was involved in all 3 of our late goals. And Harry Maguire, I owe you my life! Despite everything, all the setbacks, the chaos, United have shown resilience. No matter how bad things get, they always find a way to bounce back time and time again. And somehow, they come out on top. Who's next? Athletic Bilbao? No problem, said Bruno, who scored 2 goals. And here came Harry JJ Okocha Maguire down the wing. He whipped in across, Ugarte got a touch, flicked it onto Casemiro at the far post, who headed it in from close range. 3-0. What a performance from everyone. And in the return leg, United netted 4 goals in the final 20 minutes, winning 7-1 on aggregates. Manchester United somehow found themselves in the Europa League final. Who's our opponent? It's Tottenham Hotspur, who up to that point were hanging out near the bottom of the league table in 17th. The final was going to be an easy win, especially since we had prepared for it by not winning for 8 games straight in the league, and somehow managing to be just 1 spot above Spurs in 16th place. Not to mention, the last time Man United beat Spurs was in 2022. Thankfully, Ahmad returned from his injury sooner than expected, and he even assisted Højlund in the semi-final. So it was Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur, an extremely movable object versus an incredibly stoppable force. The only unbeaten team in Europe versus I always win things in my 2nd season. Sure, the season's been tough, and there were times when everyone wondered what was going on, but this final is a chance to turn things around. Winning it wouldn't just mean a trophy, it would prove a lot, please the fans, and give us bragging rights about how this Anthony spinning goal led us to the Europa League title. This could be a big moment for Manchester United, a chance to finish this season on a high. 16 minutes in, Maguire passed to Ahmad. Ahmad attempted a quick shot from a difficult angle, but it was wide. Don't worry, this is promising. 40th minute, Ahmad was given acres of space down the right and he cut inside. Unfortunately, Richarlison was there. Don't worry though, this is still promising. 42nd minute, Sar had plenty of space down the left. He crossed it in and... oh no. It's a cross! Look man, I've said it before, but if you want me gone, I'll leave. And I will not ask for any compensation. I know this club needs the money. You deserve blood for this! Wait, what? You heard me? Wait! I don't deserve to die over this! I just want to talk. That's all. You and me. Just talk. About the final. What was going on inside your head, huh? Why didn't you make any changes until the 71st minute? Why was Højlund allowed to stay on the pitch for so long? And then what? You bring on Dalot in the 85th fucking minute? No, shut up. I am not done. You started Mason Mount, a guy who's been injured basically all season, over Garnacho. Even though Garnacho hasn't had the best season, at least he's a threat to the opposition, to us, to himself. Who cares? At least he exists on the pitch. And don't even get me started on Luke Shaw. He was half fit at best, and because of that, Leny Yoro had to play out of position in the final. And also, Kobe Mainoo came on in the 90th minute. 90th! What sort of contribution did you expect him to make with the 9 seconds you gave him? Huh? Yes, okay. I've made several costly mistakes, but I still don't deserve to be put at gunpoint over this. I know, but for dramatic effect, you should die! I have never felt this low as a Manchester United supporter. 42 points, 18 losses, 15th place, our worst league finish since 1974. Meanwhile, Jadon Sancho is out there lifting the Conference League, Malaysia won the Eredivisie, Anthony has somehow turned into his 2008 version, and Scott McTominay just won the league. They're probably gonna build a statue of him. Everyone who leaves us becomes brilliant again, and everyone who stays to suffer. Next season will be better. Say it again! Tell me one more time that the next season will be better. Come on! Look. We've scheduled some easy preseason matches right after the season ended. It will help the players regroup quickly. Oh my god! Okay, I can't take this anymore. You lost to the Rice Balkans? Vietnamese farmers? Look! 3-1 win over Hong Kong. Hong Kong? Big achievements, huh? Also, we conceded to Juninho. This Juninho? No. Hong Kong Juninho and Tom Heaton, man. We actually have no competent goalkeeper. Look, just calm down, alright? We've already made some early signings. Matheus Cunha, and we're close to securing Brian Mbeumo. They've scored bucket loads last season. They'll help us. We will ruin them. Old Trafford is no longer the theatre of dreams. It's the graveyard of dreams, where players come just to have those dreams die quickly and painfully. And both of you, come here. I have a question for you. Everyone gets a puppy or diarrhea forever. And you both speak diarrhea forever! Alright, that's it. I am done with you. But I'm not even gonna do it myself. I'm giving the honor of ending you to someone else. No, please don't. Højlund! What the fuck are you doing up there? Get down! Is that what you call positioning? Fine, here. Take it. End this.